Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called This Fog is a Killer Gas, and it's by Megan33. And obviously the fog is in reference to the fog of war here, but gas is usually it's a synonym for generally accessible Sudoku, which means that it should be of the easier variety. So he's using a play on words of fog and gas because fog is a type, usually a type of, well, sort of a gas. I think technically it's not completely a gas, but because it's like a combination of a gas and a liquid together. But anyways, the whole point is that it's basically using a play on words on fog and generally accepted Sudoku to sort of make that reference, which is pretty cool. Anyways, here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or box. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. No guessing is required. So say you placed the correct digit in this cell right here. That would clear the fog in that cell and in the 8 surrounding cells around it. So you would clear the space around with of 9 cells, up to 9 cells, if you place the correct digit in a certain cell. And no guessing is required means you should be able to logic out everything through the clues that we do have that are visible. So you shouldn't have to guess. Also, digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. So basically, these are killer cages. And for example, these 3 digits would add up to 8, these 2 would add up to 13, and these 2 would add up to 7. So if you had, say, a 4 here, this would have to be a 9 because these 2 digits must add up to 13. And that's how killer cages work. And finally, we have crop key dots, where a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values, and not all dots are given. So, for example, if this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or 4 to maintain the 1-2 ratio here. If this were, say, a 5, this would have to be 4 or 6 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, first thing that I see is we have 5 digits here, which add up to collectively to 15, and they're all unique because they're in the same row. Now, if you have 5 unique digits adding up to 15, what's a possibility for those cells? Well, take the minimum. It's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's 15, and that equals the amount that we need to add up to. So since it's the minimum amount, that means you can't change it by switching digits. So you know exactly which digits these must be. So the 8 set must be 3 digits, and it has to then it's either 125 or 134. Well, the other 2 digits that add up to 7 must be then 25 or 34 because you can't have a 1 there, and those are the only possibilities. So all of these digits are 1 through 5, and we know that means we have a 1 through 5 quintuplet in row 3, which eliminates 1 through 5 in the rest of the row. That means the rest of the row must contain 6 through 9. Well, this cannot be 4, 9 or 5, 8 because 4 and 5 are eliminated in the rest of the row. So this must be specifically 6, 7. This is in a 1-to-2 ratio, with something, and it can be only 8 or 9. 9 is never in a 1 to 2 ratio with any other normal Sudoku digit, because if you double 9, 9 is double of 4.5, which is not a digit. And if you double 9, you get 18, which is not a digit. So this must be 8, which makes this a 4 to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So these two digits then must be 1 or 3. And therefore, we eliminate 3 and 4 here. We are left with a 9 in row 3. So this is a 9. The 1 or 3 is specifically next to a 2 or 4, but we already have a 4 in that box, so this must be a 2. The 2 must be next to a 1 or 3 here to be consecutive with it. And actually, we have a 3-cell cage, which adds up to 12. But these two digits cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 4 because of the 1, 3 pair and the 2 and the 4 in the box. So this is at minimum 5 and 6. Well, if this is at minimum 5 and 6, what does that leave for that digit? That would leave that digit at most to be 1. So since it can only be 1 at most, it can't go up at all. Therefore, we know this has to be 1 and 5 and 6 here. This can't be 1 anymore, so this must be a 3. The 3 and 9 add up to 12, so the last digit in that cage must be 2. So this is 2. These three digits add up to 11, and they cannot have a 2 in them. So there's no 128. You could have 137. So it could be 137 or 146, and those are the only possibilities, because every other combination of 3 digits adding up to 11, 3 unique digits adding up to 11, requires a 2 in it. And this cannot contain a 2 because this sees that 2 in this box, and this sees that 2 in the column. So it's either 137, which would mean this is 7, and this is 1 and 3. But that's not possible because 7 is never in a 1 to 2 ratio with another digit, right? 7 is double of 3.5, and if you double 7, you get 14. But neither of those are digits. So it cannot be 137, therefore it must be 1, 4, and 6. So this is 1, 4, 6, but this can't be 1. If this is 6, it's in a 1 to 2 ratio with 3, but we already have a 3 in the column. So this can't be 6, then it has to be 4 here. 4 has to be next to in a 1 to 2 ratio with 8 because 2 is already taken, so this is 8. This can't be 4, this can't be 4. If this is 1, it's only consecutive with 2, and we already have a 2 in the column. So this must be 6, this must be 1. This is either 5 or 7 here, but this 6 eliminates that 6, so that's 5, which makes that a 6. That eliminates 5 here, which makes that a 7. These two digits are consecutive. You cannot have a 1, 2, 4, or 8 here. So 3 is ruled out because 3 can only be consecutive with 2 and 4. You could have 5, 6, but you cannot have 6, 7, because if you had a 6, 7 here, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. Obviously, you can't have 7, 8 because of the 8, and you can't have 8, 9. So this has to be 5 and 6, which makes this not a 6 because of that 6. So this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, which makes that a 6. These are two digits adding up to 5, and you don't have a 1, so this must be a 2, 3 pair. Which means 3 cannot be in the 2 and 3 cannot be in the remaining cells in the column. So none of these can be 3. Well, where is the 3 in this box then? Can't be here, it must be here. So this is a 3. The remaining digits are 7 and 9. This can't be 7 because of that 7, so this must be a 9, which makes that a 7. This 2-digit number adding up to 7 cannot be 6, cannot contain a 6 because of the 6 in the columns. So it's not 1, 6, it's either 2, 5, but it can't be 2 and 5 because 2 and 5 are eliminated from that cell, which means it can't match a 2, 5 in from this cell to that cell. So it must be 3 and 4. So this is 3 and 4, which eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of the row. Excuse me. This can't be a 3 then, which makes that a 2, which makes that a 3. What are the remaining digits in column 2? They are 4, 5, and 8. This can't be 5, so this is 4 and 8. This could be 4, 5, or 8. This could be 4, 5, and 8. What are the remaining digits in column 3? We have 5, 6, 7. So this is specifically 5, 6, 7, which eliminates 5 in the rest of this box because of the 5, 6, 7 triplet. So this can't be 5. Where is the 5 in column 2? It must be here. So this is 5. The remaining digits are 2, 4, and 8, and this can't be 2 because of this 2. So this must be a 2 in this box, which makes this a 4, 8 pair. 4 and 8 are only consecutive with 5 and 7 out of 5, 6, 7. So this can never be 6. These two digits are consecutive, but these can only be 7, 8, and 9 as possibilities. 7, 8, and 9 is only consecutive with 6, 7, 8, or 9. But this can't be 6 because of the 6 in the same row. And this can't be 8. Well, 7 and 9 is only consecutive with 8 out of 7, 8, or 9. So this is 8, which means this can't be 8. This is 4, which makes that 8. This 4 means this can't be 4, so that's 8, which makes that 7, because 7 is only consecutive with 8 out of 5 and 7. These can't be 7 anymore. These can't be 8. This is 7 or 9. The remaining digits in row 1 are 3, 7, and 9. The remaining digits in row 2 are 1, 4, and 6. These two digits are in a 1 to 2 ratio, and they cannot contain a 3 or 4 because of the 3, 4 pair in the box. Therefore, it has to be specifically 1 and 2, and this can't be 2 because of that 2, so this must be 1, which makes that a 2. This 1 eliminates that 1, so that's a 3, which makes that a 1. This 3 makes this a 4, which makes that a 3. These two digits add up to 11. You cannot have 2, 9, 3, 8, or 4, 7 in it because of the box of the 2, 3, 4 in the same box. So this has to be 5 and 6 then, which leaves these digits as 7, 8, 9 in the box. And this can't be 8 because of this 8. So this has to be 7 or 9. It cannot be 9 in the cage that adds up to 8. So this must be 7. These can't be 7. This can't be 7, so therefore it's a 9, which makes that a 7. This 7 and a 1 adds up to 8, so this is 1. The remaining digits in column 1 are 1, 4, and 9, and this cannot be 1 or 4, so this must be a 9. This can't be 1 or 9, so it must be a 4, which makes that a 1. The remaining digits in row 7 are 5, 6, and 8. But 8 cannot be in a 3-cell cage adding up to 9, right? Because you have at minimum 8 plus 1 plus 2, which is 11. And that can't add up to 9. So this has to be 5 or 6, which makes this an 8. 3 digits, unique digits adding up to 9. And you have a 5 or 6 there. Means that it must be either 135 or 126. Either way, you need a 1. So 1 cannot be here. Therefore, 1 must be here. So this can't be 1 here. This can't be 1. Where is a 1 in row 2? It must be in this cell. So this is a 1. This is 2 or 3. But it can't be 3 because of the 3 in the row. So this must be 2, which makes that a 6. Which makes that a 4, which makes that a 6. This 2 eliminates that 2. So that's a 5, which makes that a 2. This cage cannot be 1, 6, or 2, 5, so it has to be 3, 4, but this can't be 3 because of that 3, so this is 4, this is 3. The remaining, that's 3 in the corner, we celebrate because we know we're getting close to solving it. This cannot be a 7, 8 pair adding up to 15, so therefore it must be 6 and 9 specifically. And this can't be 6 because of that 6, so this is 9, which makes that a 6. This can't be 3 or 9 because of the 3 or 9 in the same column, so this must be 7, which makes that 9, which makes that a 3. The last digit remaining in column 9 is a 5, so this is 5. let's see. We have the remaining digits in column 6 must be 1, 2, and 3. And this can't be 1 or 3 because of the 1, 3 in the row. Therefore, this is 2. This can't be 1 or 2 because of the 2 here and the 1 here. So this is 3, which makes that a 1. We have 8 2s. We should know where the last 2 is. And we do. It has to be here. I think we have all 9 1s. We do have all 9 1s. 3s, we have 8 3s. We know where the last 3 has to be. It has to be here. 4s, we have 7, but we know in this box where the 4 can be. It can't be here. Can't be any of the filled in digits. It must be here. So this is a 4. And now we have 8 4s. We know where the last 4 has to be. It has to be here. 5s. 5 cannot be here because of the 5 6 pair in the row. And 5 cannot be here because of this 5. So we know this has to be a 5 then. So this is 5, which makes this 6, which makes that 5, which makes that 6, which makes that 5. We could have gotten it from that way too. We now have 8 5s. We know where the last 5 has to be because of just process of elimination from normal Sudoku. So it must be here. We have 6s. I think we have all 9 6s. Yeah, we do. So move on to the next one. 7s. We know where the 7 is in the bottom right corner. Can't be here. Can't be filled in digits, so it must be here. And we have now 8 7, so we know where the last 7 is. It has to be here. 8s. Well, it's the only remaining digit in this box here. So this must be 8. That means this can't be 8 in that box. So therefore this must be 8, which makes this a 9, which makes that an 8. Therefore this is a 9, and this is the last 9 remaining. Oops. And that's how you solve it. Yep, definitely a generally approachable Sudoku here. Pretty straightforward, but also still, very, very interesting how things got eliminated here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.